Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to math. And today we are going to talk about time to the half hour on an analog clock. Okay, remember analog is the one that circle or square and you see the numbers. Okay, 12 at the top, 6 at the bottom. Okay, so that's what we're going to, I just knocked something over. Okay, so before we do that, let's do a little practice. Okay, one of the practice here is, what time does the clock show? Does it show 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, or 2 o'clock? And who remembers what time this is shown as? That's right. If you said digital, you're correct. Okay, so let's look at our next slide. And it was 1 o'clock. Very good. Okay, now let's look at this analog clock because today we're going to discuss reading time to half. Okay, now let's look and see. Now this is a whole circle, okay? And if we were to start at the 12 and go all the way around with the minute hand and stop here, that's right, it's a half. So we'll just kind of do right here. Okay, so that's half. That is half of how many minutes go around? That's right, 60. So it's half. Okay, halfway around the clock. Now, something else I want to point out to you. Each one of these little dashes means 1 minute, okay? 60 seconds is 1 minute. So if we were to have a second hand, and that's the only hand on a clock that you really can see move, okay? This one has the hour and the minute hand, but if we were to have, in fact, I think our classroom clock has a second hand. It's been a while, so I honestly don't remember, but I think it does. And that is the only hand that we could look at and actually see move around. And if we were to count it, it would be the 60 seconds. And every time the second hand moves around an analog clock, such as this one, the minute hand would just move over slowly to the next minute on the clock. So if this were, say, 0, from here to here is 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5. So right there would be 5 minutes, right? Okay. So if you notice the pattern, every time there's a 1 or 2, there's a larger number, okay? So let's check something here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's right. So how are we counting around? By fives. That's right. So if we start here, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So halfway around the clock is 30 minutes, okay? And let's continue. 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60 minutes around is 1 hour, right? Okay, so right now we're only going to talk about this minute hand going around halfway, okay? So it started out on 10, and notice when it was 10 o'clock, it pointed more towards the 10, and then the minute hand, okay, straight up and down would be 10 o'clock. But now this minute hand moved halfway around, and it took 30 minutes. So right now, the time is 10:30. And what that means is that it was 10 o'clock and the minute hand went half past or halfway around, okay, the clock. Not many people, I would say very few, actually say half past. A lot of people will say 10:30. Now, something else I really want to point out to you, okay? And if we were in class, you would hear me saying this a lot as a reminder. The hour hand is slowly moving from 10 to 11, okay? Right now, it is 10:30 or 10:30, okay? Notice it's going off of the 10, but it is not touching the 11, okay? So it is right almost between the 10 and 11. And it will take some practice for when you look at this to say it's 10:30 or 10:30, okay? And whenever you will not say 11 o'clock until the hour hand is actually pointing to the 11. So right now it is 10:30, okay? Now let's look at, oh, here we go. We're gonna look at that one. Now, Darius starts to mow his yard at 8 o'clock. He spends 1 hour mowing his yard, and then he spends 30 minutes cleaning his garage. Wow, this one is a tough one. All right. So if he spends 1 hour, let me get my little tools here. Okay. And let's see if I can do this. So what? Okay. So we are going, and let me just say, this is a challenging question. Okay. Considering we're just talking about half past and all. But if you were doing on the hour and he starts at 8, okay, and 1 hour, so it's 8 plus 1 hour, it would be 9, okay? 9, not very straight, I know. And 9 o'clock, okay. But now they're saying he spends 30 minutes cleaning his garage. Now remember, every time we move, we always start up here when we're counting, okay? When we're counting minutes. So this is 0. This, I know it goes around and then it becomes 60, but this is where you will start, okay? So from here to here, and they want us to do 30 minutes. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So that means I am going to move the minute hand, only the minute hand right now. All right. Yes, I know I accidentally took part of that off, but that's okay. All right. So the minute hand is going to go down here because right here. It's okay if it's black. All right. Now, they also said, all right, I've said to you before that it moves a tiny bit. Now, if you were to answer this question to me and you went like that, I would not mark it wrong because we're learning, and that's 9:30. But what it would probably, let me see if I can, oh my goodness, all this. All right, here, let's erase this, okay? Let's erase this, and I guess it doesn't erase that. That's okay. We're going to go back to here, okay? I would probably say it would be more like this, okay? That's kind of where it might be for 9:30. So the time would be, let's get black so we can read what we're doing. Okay, 9, ooh, oh, because the eraser, that's right, we'll use this. 9, 30, or half, it looks terrible, I know. Very fluffy numbers. Okay, 9:30 or 9:30. Okay, all right. So we are going to move through those and let's look at the next page because that was just a mess. Okay, here we go. Here is, they want to know half past. All right, so here they've already put the minute hand and the hour hand. Okay, so you would trace that. Now, if I could move this, I wish I could. If I could move this up here, remember, We go by where it was. Confusing, I know, I'm sorry. But this time would be 10:30. That's right, because it's coming off of the 10. All right. So here's the little story. It says trace the hour hand in red and the minute hand in blue. Okay. If you don't have, well, you could try using crayons or colored pencil. You could do that so it helps you to remember. Okay. And you're going to finish this lesson today. I will go over the see and show with you. All right. An analog clock can show time to the half hour. All right. And they did a much nicer job drawing their numbers than I did. And a half hour is 30 minutes, which is something we've already discussed. Now, the helpful hint, the hour hand points between the 4 and the 5, and the minute hand points to the 6. Now, here it's coming off of the 4 because it had been 4 o'clock, okay, and it moved 30 minutes. So it is half past 4 o'clock or 4:30, okay? So boys and girls, do the best you can with this, all right? And just like I said, half past is showing that the minute hand is going halfway around the clock. If you have a paper plate and you want to try, okay, you want to try making a clock, all right, that might help you to show you. And it's 12, right? And then the 6, and then the 3, okay, and the 9, all right? So you can try, unless you happen to have a little brother or sister who might have one of those little clocks, okay? But don't worry about it. Just try your best on it. Work on the worksheet, okay? And I've enjoyed doing math with you, all right? Take care, boys and girls, and if you have any questions at all, your parents just know how to reach me, okay? Bye-bye. Miss you.